For Herod himself had sent out and arrested John, had laid hold of and bound him, and put him in prison for the sake of Herodias, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. John said to Herod, "It is not lawful for you to have your brother's wife." Herodias set herself against him and desired to kill him, but she couldn't, for Herod feared John, knowing that he was a righteous and holy man, and kept him safe. When he would have put him to death, he feared the multitude, because they counted him as a prophet. When he heard him, he did many things, and he heard him gladly. Then a convenient day came, that Herod, on his birthday, made a supper for his nobles, the high officers, and the chief men of Galilee. The daughter of Herodias herself came in, and danced among them, and she pleased Herod and those sitting with him. Whereupon the king promised the young lady with an oath, "Ask me whatever you want, and I will give it to you." He swore to her, "Whatever you shall ask of me, I will give you, up to half of my kingdom," to give her whatever she would ask. She went out and said to her mother, "What shall I ask?" She came in immediately with haste to the king, prompted by her mother, said, "I want you to give me here, right now, on a platter, the head of John the Baptizer." The king was grieved and exceedingly sorry, but for the sake of his oaths and of his dinner guests who sat at the table with him, he didn't wish to refuse her. Immediately the king sent out a soldier of his guard, and he commanded to bring John's head, and it to be given. He beheaded John in the prison. His head was brought on a platter and given to the young lady, and she brought it and gave it to her mother. When his disciples heard this, they came and took the body and laid it in a tomb, and they went and told Jesus. Now when Jesus heard this, he withdrew from there in a boat to a deserted place apart. When the multitudes heard it, they followed him on foot from the cities. At that time Herod the Tetrarch heard the report of all that was done by Jesus, and he was very perplexed, because it was said by some that John had risen from the dead, and by some that Elijah had appeared, and by others that one of the old prophets had risen again. Herod said to his servants, "John I beheaded, but who is this about whom I hear such things?" He sought to see him, saying, "This is John the Baptizer. He is risen from the dead. That is why these powers work in him."